Namaste yogis, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. So for today's cine class, we need a bolster or a pillow to rest our legs on. Have your strap handy, and we're gonna fold our blankets like we have done in the past few classes. So you can have your towel or blanket fold to support your lumbar spine. So remember, we want it about 4 to 5 inches wide, but also we don't want it to be too thick. But just make sure that it's not going to force an arch on your back. Rather, what we want is to support our natural curvature. That's all. So we are not going to let the lumbar spine to flatten, and we're gonna let the tailbone rest on the floor. If you need extra support for your tailbone, like if it gets sore when it rests on the ground, another thing that you could do is to have an extra blanket right under the like under your body, like under your seats, and just to pat yourself a little extra, and then have the lumbar spine support. So then your tailbone is not resting straight down on the floor, especially if you're on a hardwood or something like that, so that might help you. So I don't need that, so I will just put my blanket across. So then the other thing that we're gonna do with our blankets is the noodle for the upper back. So because this is not a full spine noodle, it's just a thoracic spine noodle. So you want to have your blanket folded about this way, and then from the short end, just go and make yourself a tight noodle. Remember, if it's tighter, then it will give you a better massage or a deeper massage. I don't know if that's better for you. So then you're gonna place it where your head and upper back will be. Have the extra blanket or blocks. If you don't have more blankets available, you can have a block, or if you do have another blanket at the top in case you need to raise your head a little bit. Okay, so now we get into the pose. So remember, you want to have your tailbone on the floor, and then move that lumbar spine support a little bit higher so that it promotes your natural curvature. And then you're gonna try to get the space between the shoulder blades right at the bottom edge of your noodle. So if you rest it there, your head should be resting on your noodle, unless it's too short. If somehow it feels like your head is falling back, like if you have tension on the back of the neck, a good way to prevent that extra tension is bringing a blanket, placing a blanket under the head. So that will keep the curvature of your neck. Well, you don't want it too high, so you don't want hyperextension. Remember, we look after that. And finally, we're gonna strap our legs. So whether you have a belt, a strap, or a scarf or something that will help you to keep your legs about fist distance apart between the knees, and you can relax. You can relax your legs once again on your prop, whether it's your pillow, whether it's your bolster. Take your time here and really check in with your body. Pay attention to your lower back. You do want to make sure it's not bothering you, that your blanket is rather feeling supportive. So some things that some of you might do is that you bring your blanket a little higher. Some of you might bring it a little lower until you find that place that just right. And then bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up, and close your eyes. And scan your body from bottom to top, checking in. See if you can bring your big toes to touch, heels wide apart, and then feet parallel. You can flex your feet, press your heels away, rest the heels again on the floor, and then toes, let them fall forward. So then we know that our ankles are not wider than our hips. Sometimes our body allows us to do that, so we just want to check in. Relax your toes, relax your foot soles, relax the top of your feet, relax your ankles, relax your lower legs, soften your knees. Relax your thighs, your hamstrings. Relax your buttocks. Relax your lower back and hips. Relax your mid-back and upper back. And allow your shoulders to drop towards the floor. Because you have the noodle between your shoulder blades, your shoulders won't be reaching down to the floor, but that's okay because that will put demand on your pectoral muscles. Some of you might already are feeling a stretch, maybe it's across the armpit, so just pay attention. Where do you feel the stretch and make sure it's not too intense. If it is, you can, maybe your blanket is too high, your noodle is too thick. So it's okay to adjust the prop and make it a little, maybe flatter, maybe thinner so that you can be comfortable. Relax your neck. Make sure you're not bringing any tension to the neck and jaw, which might be a tendency for many of us. Have a little bit of space between your teeth and maybe place the tongue at the roof of the mouth so that you're not allowing your teeth tensing, your jaw tensing. Relax your face and your jaw. Keep your eyelids softly closed. Notice the weight of your arms and the relaxation in your hands. So you want to make sure your fingers are relaxed. No mudra right now. Just let it be. Just breathe in and out in your supported Shavasana. And just pay attention as your breath comes and goes. And you might start tuning in your Dirga Pranayama or yogic breath, expanding into the lower parts of your tummy, expanding into your side ribs, into your chest and upper back as you breathe in. And letting your body fall from the chest to the side ribs, and finally let your navel drop. Continue from bottom to top as you inhale. And from top to bottom as you exhale. Don't let your mind wander, rising. Falling. Rising. Falling. Continue on your own. I'm going to take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you're ready, bring your awareness to your hands, wiggle your fingers. Move your arms out to the sides at a T position. Take a few moments here. Readjust your neck if you need to. When you are ready, bring your arms up towards the sky. And you want your palms to touch, to face, but not to touch. Relax your shoulders into its sockets. You can extend your fingers maybe, and as you take your next inhalation, reach up towards the sky with your right arm. And as you exhale, place the shoulder back into its socket. Left arm, reach up. And exhale back into its socket. And pay attention to the relationship between your shoulder blade and your collarbone. Make sure this is not bothering your body. Make sure you are not bringing the tension onto the neck. If you are maybe lifting your arm way too much. Do not let it pinch. Things to look for in this movement is that you keep your lower body relaxed. Sometimes the legs and the glutes especially want to help. So continue to release them if that's the case. Keep your abdomen relaxed. Your face and your jaw are still relaxed. Notice if the opposite arm wants to bend every time you reach up. Try to keep it extended, both extended. We started with the right arm, so you're going to do one more round on each side. And when your left arm returns down, release your hands by your sides, palms facing up. Relax your upper back, your shoulders, arms, and hands. Observe. Now we're going to get into the same position, arms up, palms facing, not touching, shoulders into its sockets. Both arms at the same time. As you inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, drop. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, shoulders back and into its sockets. Think about massaging the space between the shoulder blades, and when your shoulders return into its sockets, see if you can actively squeeze the blanket with your blades. And bring them away from each other as your fingertips reach up. And squeeze your blanket once again as they come down. Notice if there is one shoulder blade that is working more than the other, and try not to overdo it on that side. See if you can purposely activate the opposite side. Not forcing, not overdoing, just trying to find that center to the best of your ability. Many times when we suffer from lower back pain, hip pain, we look into the hip, we look into the pelvis. But many times, the pain that is reflected on the lower part of the body can be caused by a misalignment or malfunction or dysfunction of a muscle on the upper body. Vice versa. Sometimes a pain that it reflects on your shoulder or your neck can come from the misalignment of your feet or your pelvis. It's all connected. So to help to release the body and to help with pain on one area of the body, we work with the whole. The body works as a unit. And when you are ready, when your shoulders return into the sockets, bring your hands by your sides once again, relax and observe. And pay attention how much your lower body helped. Sometimes you might notice involuntary movements along the body. Pay attention where, if any.
movement that you catch? How is your breath? Now, when you are ready, bring your hands into Merudana Mudra. So Merudana Mudra is a fist with your thumbs extended out. Palms are facing up. And take a few moments here. Now we're going to move very slowly and very mindfully. When you're ready, bring your hands off the floor, just at the level of the shoulders. Then see if you can externally rotate your shoulders so that your thumbs point towards the floor. Your palms might be facing towards the back of the room. Watch for your neck, keep your legs relaxed. Notice. Now, when you take your next exhalation, rotate the other way so your thumbs point down, but this time you internally rotate your shoulders. Make sure the movement comes right from your shoulders, not from your elbows or your wrists. Hold and breathe. Watch for your collarbone, your shoulder blades, your neck, your jaw. Keep your abdomen relaxed. Next time you inhale, thumbs again down to the floor and your palms face back. Exhale, internally rotate so thumbs point up and then maybe point forward, and maybe you try to bring them to point down. Don't force them, they don't need to look like they're actually pointing down. That's just the direction you're taking them. Do not work with any pinching sensation. We're gonna move with the breath. As you inhale, externally rotate, thumbs down, palms face back. Sorry, that was external. Now internally rotate. And just take it as far as it feels right for the shoulders. As you continue to move at the pace of the breath, pay attention if both arms move evenly, or if you find that the one arm is more responsive, maybe it moves more or maybe faster. Notice if your breath is challenged. If it is, you are overdoing it. Notice if when you do the rotation, the shoulder blades actually work, or you notice that one shoulder blade is frozen. You do want to focus on the one that is barely moving or moving less. So by that, I mean don't take your dominant side to full range of motion. Try to match left and right, but without forcing. That's one of the most challenging things to do, you guys, not to overdo it. So let us all together try to do just what the body is asking today, not what the mind is asking. When your palms face up next time, you're gonna release your hands on the floor. Relax your mudra, observe your breath, don't let your mind wander. Notice all that energy returning to your hands and fingers. Feel the stretch through the pectoral muscles. Pay attention to your legs, your glutes, your back. Wiggle your fingers, open and close your hands. And when you are ready, you're gonna bring your hands by your hips, palms down, and we work again with our Merudana Mudra. So from here, with your thumbs extended and all fingers curled into the hand, as you take your next inhalation slowly and mindfully, bring your arms up towards the sky and take them behind you just as far as you can without letting the ribcage pop forward. As you exhale, bend the elbows, bring your arms into a goal pose posture. As you inhale, gonna bring your hands up, internally rotate your shoulders again, palms will face down. And exhale, extend your arms to starting position. Again, inhale slowly, reach your arms back. Only take them as far as your shoulders allow. Exhale, bend the elbows at a 90-degree angle out to the sides in line with the shoulders. Inhale, going into internal rotation of the shoulder, palms face down. Exhale, extend the arms and hands again by your hips. Find your rhythm. So this is going to maybe challenge your mind as much as it's going to challenge your body. When you exhale, bend the elbows, 90-degree angle. Feel the massage on your upper back. Inhale, turn your arms in, so palms face down, still 90-degree angle. And exhale, extend. I will leave you to it. No pinching sensation. You don't need to go full out with the movement. Find the range of motion that your body likes today. We work from there. Relax the jaw, relax the glutes, relax the legs. Your mudras are firm but not super tense. Watch for that. One more round. Take a few moments here. Relax your hands, palms face up. Wiggle your fingers. Observe your breath. We're gonna do the opposite movement, of course. So when you are ready, hands into Merudanda Mudra. Extend your thumbs. Keep your hands by your hips. Watch for the shoulders. Maybe lift the hands an inch or so off the floor. And as you inhale with your palms facing down, bring your elbows out to the sides, bend your elbows. Maybe you go up to a 90, maybe you don't go that far. And as you exhale, palms face up in your gold pose posture. Inhale, extend your arms. See if you can keep your shoulders, your arms at the same level. And as you exhale, bring your arms up and down. We repeat. Inhale, bend the elbows. Exhale, gold pose posture. Inhale, extend your arms. And exhale, arms up and back to starting position. Inhale, bending the elbows out to the sides. Exhale, gold pose posture. Inhale, extend your arms. And exhale, starting position. Find your rhythm. Last round. Inhale, bending the elbows. Goal pose posture as you exhale. Extend. And when you release your arms by your sides, palms face up, relax your arms at an A-frame. Don't let your mind go away. Observe. Take one more breath here, full deep breath. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Move your feet side to side. Now move slowly, bend your knees and bring your foot soles on your prop or on the floor. And then extend one of your arms and fall over your favorite side. Take a few moments here on your fetal position. Really observe what's going on in your body, in your breath. Take your strap, I keep calling the strap, well, you're used to by now, I hope. So take your blankets, put them out to the sides, and then you return onto the floor. Extend your legs once more and observe what's going on your lower back. And I meant your upper back. Awesome. Take one more breath here, full deep breath. Now we're gonna put some demand on the lumbar spine by extending completely the hamstrings. So when you're ready, bend your knees again, take your prop out of the way, foot soles are on the floor, extend your legs and observe. Remember, you can always change the position of the blanket so that it feels supportive and you're not creating an arch that is not already there. Now, bend the knees, foot soles on the ground. Bring your knees towards the chest. Maybe hold them tight, maybe hold on the strap, maybe rock side to side. You can stay right at the center if you choose. Massaging across your back. Come back to center, foot soles on the ground, and you want to have about fist distance between the big toes, maybe a little wider, heels slightly wider apart. So your knees and your toes are at the same distance. So you want to check that you still have about a fist distance between the knees. Bring your hands by your sides. Don't need to bring them by your hips like in Hatha Yoga. So you can bring your hands even at an A-frame or at a T position. Draw your blades together and under. And keep your shoulders away from the ears. You want to readjust your head maybe, so you want to make sure there is a little bit of a space on the back of the neck, but not completely flat. Keep your chin perpendicular to the floor. Don't tuck it towards the chest. The chest will come up and you let it happen. Make sure it's not putting pressure on your cervical. Squeeze your buttocks. Now tuck your tailbone. And the next time you inhale, lift the hips. Really engage through your glutes. Try to activate them both. Press your heels down onto the ground and imagine as if you were trying to push your heels towards you. Notice your hamstrings activating here. You really want to think of your heels pressing down, you guys. Press the balls of the feet still on the floor. They're not coming off the ground. And watch for your toes. Don't let them grip. Meanwhile, you're putting the weight on your upper back, not on your neck. Once again, your chest might come to your chest to chin. And gaze can be straight up or slightly behind you just to prevent your neck from flattening. So there will be an extension on your cervical spine, but it's not hyperextension. Deep breathing here. Notice if both glutes are activating evenly. And when you're ready on your next inhalation with control, release your hips onto the ground. Extend your legs, observe. Notice your heartbeat, notice your breath. We're gonna do this again. Bring your arms out to the sides at a T position. Bend your elbows and bring your upper body into extension as you bring your arms into a goal pose posture. You can go into Merudanda Mudra if you like the mudra. You can extend your hands if you prefer that. Bend your knees, bring your foot soles back onto the floor. Measure your feet so you have about a fist distance between the big toes. Then bring your feet parallel. Now before we go into the pose, squeeze the navel onto the spine. Tuck your tailbone. Watch for the neck once again. Squeeze your buttocks, press your heels onto the ground, and lift your hips. We're not pressing the arms onto the floor. We're putting the weight onto the upper back. We allow the chest to come up, closing the throat. You may swallow 3-4 times. Breathe deeply here. Remember, your feet are active, your toes might be lifted, activating your glutes, maybe a little higher. You don't have to. With control, release your hips onto the ground. Extend your legs, hands by your sides, palms facing up. Awesome. Now when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor, and move onto your left shoulder, left hip, going onto your feet out position. If you need a blanket under your head for extra support, you can take your noodle or the extra blanket to make yourself a pillow. Now you do want to make sure that when you do that, you actually have some prop behind you. So when you turn your head, it doesn't fall on the floor. Before we go any further, you want to use the strap to help your knees to stay together. So we always say that we're going to keep them together. However, when we go into the twist, we think about bringing the arm all the way to the floor rather than keeping the pelvis stable. So this time we're going to use the strap to help us with that. Arms are in front of us, palms are touching. And as you inhale, bring your arm towards the sky and then rotate your torso so that your arm comes behind you. And then notice if your knees are trying to come apart. Don't let them. And next time you exhale, very slowly close. So this prayer breath is going to be very aligned based, if you like. So we're not aiming just to go into the deep twist. So try not to. Opening on the inhalation, engage your shoulder blade, and exhale, close. Perfect. So we'll do 8 more for a total of 10. Count your own. Make sure that you adjust your head depending what feels right for your neck. Think about engaging your inner thighs, squeeze them together. When you get to the 8th round, you want to stay open here on your twist. Adjust your head. If this is too much for your arm, for your elbow, if it feels like it's hyperextending, then bend your arm. You can rest your hand on the side of the body. Still feel the stretch through the arm, through the pectoral. Knees are still together. If you're comfortable with your arm back, if your hand is not all the way to the floor, you can also take a prop for extra support. Think about your right shoulder blade engaging. Deepen your breath. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. The next time you inhale, you're gonna bend the elbow if it's extended, and as you exhale, bring it forward, relax your shoulder forward, take a few breaths here. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, go onto your back. '90-degree angle of your legs once more. Watch for your blanket. Make sure that it's going to support the back of the head when you turn. Hands in front of you. 10 breaths, and as you inhale, squeezing your inner thighs together, bring your left arm up and slightly behind you. When you exhale, close. Count your own 10. And when you get to the last one, you stay there and breathe. Think about getting that left shoulder blade active. Prayer breath also stimulates the lymph nodes of the armpits, helps to strengthen your lungs. You want to really expand into the rib cage every time you open and inhale. When you get to the last one, stay here and breathe. And so some of you will stay with the arm extended, and some of you will bend the elbow instead and rest the hand to the side of the body. So whatever works for you, make sure it feels okay. You don't have to touch the floor. You can let gravity take over to help with the extension, or you could place a prop under your arm for that extra support. We'll take one more breath, full deep breath. And when you are ready, inhale, bend the elbow. And as you exhale, bring your arm forward, relax your shoulder forward, and then breathe.
We're going to use the top hand to slowly help ourselves up on the next exhalation. So you still have your strap between around the legs, and make sure that you have it so that you have fist distance between the knees again. Have your blanket under the knees. And then, if you have blocks, you're going to use your blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, then with your blankets, have both blankets and fold them so that you have something like about 4 to 5 inches thick. You're not gonna like this one, you guys, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so what you want is to, some of you will remember this one. Okay, here I go again. My folding skills are top notch. All right, so we have the blankets in between the feet. The top of the feet are on the floor. Now, before we go any further, find your tabletop position. So you want to have a neutral back, so don't go into your cow stretch, although you might, if you have a big arch on your back or you enjoy back bends, that will be the tendency to try to resist that urge. Push the mat away with your hands so that your shoulder blades are apart, and also it will release your wrist. Now, as you take your next exhalation, squeeze the blanket and push your knees away from each other. Hello, glutes. Exhale, release. Okay, again, push the mat away, keep your spine, your lumbar spine neutral, and exhale, squeeze the blanket or the blocks, and push your knees away from each other. Notice if one side is working more, usually there is that dominant side, so try to ease a little bit on it, and try to engage the other one so that you match. And then release. We're going to do 5 more on your own. If your wrists don't like being here on tabletop, please do go on your elbows. You can go into your Merudana Mudra and maybe even move your hands away a little bit from each other. You're still going to put the mat on your upper back. Push the mat away from you with your hands and with your forearms. Notice the tendencies of your back. So the action is, even if you don't feel that you're squeezing so much, you still create that tension, that resistance that goes on the lower part of your legs, and then your upper legs go on the opposite direction. Notice how that affects your glutes, and then release. Now when you are done, rest your elbows on the floor if you're not there. Stack your fist, forehead down, keep your hips over the knees, and breathe. Perfect. We're going to do it again. So when you are ready, push yourself up again onto tabletop position. Be mindful. Press the top of the feet on the floor. Make sure you have enough resistance around your legs. Perfect. 5 of those. Squeeze the blocks or blanket and push your knees away. And inhale, release. Exhale. Push the mat away. Squeeze your legs, your feet, and then legs away or knees away. And then release. 3 more. With your feet, using the whole inner edge of the feet, try to press towards the blankets or blocks, and then push your knees away from each other. And then inhale, release. What other muscles are trying to help now? You're awakening your stabilizers, And then release when you're done with your 5. Perfect. Rest your elbows on the floor, hands stacked under the forehead. You can send your tailbone up, relax and breathe deeply. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you're ready, mindfully come up onto your tabletop. So you can stay on tabletop position if you choose. Otherwise, curl the toes under. And keeping the strap in between your, Dios mío, around the legs, curl the toes, pick up the knees, and push back, hips to the sky. Now from here, you guys, that's okay if your blocks or your blankets are gone, but you do want to measure your feet, so look at them. So you want about fist distance still between the big toes, fist or 2 fist distance. Make sure that matches the knees. Then we're gonna press the heels to the floor, whether they touch or not, and continue to move your legs away from each other so you can feel a little bit of tension on your strap. Notice how that engages your body differently. We're externally rotating our thighs. Push the mat down and forward with your hands. High blood pressure, stay down on your knees in active tabletop and continue to move your knees away from each other. If you are in downward dog and you feel comfortable, move your head yes and no. Continue to move your legs away. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. And with control, inhale, knees on the ground. Exhale, uncurl the toes. If it's okay for you to sit on your heels, you will do that. If not, you're gonna walk your hands towards the knees, then come up and stand on your knees. And rotate your wrist and shake the tension off. You're sitting on your heels, same thing, rotate and shake the tension off. And when you're ready, you're gonna finally free yourself from the strap. Ready to go. Keep the strap handy, we're gonna still use it. We're gonna go onto the belly, and actually if you have a loop on the strap, you can pass it around your right foot right away. Not everybody will need to use the strap, so if you don't, that's okay. If you do, that's okay. Some of you might place the blanket under the tummy so that you let your pubic bone rest on the floor. You don't have to, you can do this without the blanket. So we have done this one in class. Some of you already know this one very well. You want to watch for your knee, you guys. So let's stay here on sort of an sphinx pose on your elbows for now, so that you can watch while I explain. You want to make sure that your ankle is safe here, your knee is safe here. Rotate your torso, and some of you might hold onto the ankle, and some of you will take the strap instead and hold onto the strap. So you're gonna hold as close to the foot as it feels right, but try to keep that arm extended. Then rest your forehead to the floor and try to balance your shoulders instead of being rotated with your upper body towards the right. So it's important that you find that position that will work for you. If you are holding onto the foot, make sure that it's not bringing any tension onto your kneecap. Now bring your foot as close onto your glute as it feels right in your body. And the next time you exhale, press your pubic bone onto the floor. Pubic bone down, feeling the stretch through your quad. Keep your foot flexed. Don't let your foot move out to the side. Keep it in line with the knee, with the hip. Keep pressing your pubic bone down. You manage the stretch. Don't overdo it.
And keep balancing your upper body so your shoulders are square to the mat. The tightness of the front body will reflect on your lumbar spine. So if you usually suffer from sciatica pain, SI joint pain, any problem with your pelvis, this one is a good release for your hip flexors, your quads. We'll take one more breath here. And when you are ready with control, let go of the foot, release it down, circle your arm under the forehead, take a few moments. You may bring your big toes to touch and let your feet, your heels flare. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So if you are doing the strap, you're gonna free yourself from one side. And place it on the other foot.
This one is already an exercise on itself, like getting the strap around the foot. Well, for me it was. So you want to bring your body back to center. Remember that once you got a hold of the strap and you shorten the strap enough so that your arm can stay extended. Bring your right foot parallel, press the top of the foot on the floor, balance your shoulders against the ground, and then bring your forehead down. And if your body allows you to hold onto the ankle, do remember to keep that foot flexed. Press your pubic bone to the floor when you exhale, and breathe. Keep working on balancing the upper part of your body. As you press your pubic bone down, you feel the extension through your lower back. With control, when you are ready, release your foot. Extend your leg. Circle your arm, bring it under the forehead, big toes touching, heels out. If neck allows, gaze to the right. You can keep your hands under the temple, or you can bring your hands by your hips, palms facing up, round your shoulders. Notice how rounding the shoulders and bringing them closer to the floor puts some demand on your back, on your lower back. Now from here, bend your knees, feet to the sky, and allow your feet to flare. Try to keep your pubic bone down. Don't force it, just let it drop. Some people like doing ankle circles here. You can go ahead and do that if you wish. Do them both ways. When you are ready, be mindful, bring your forehead back down, readjust, and very carefully bring your gaze to the other side.
again, very mindfully. When you are ready, bring your forehead back down, feet together and down, hands under the shoulders as you inhale. And be careful as you exhale, push yourself up on your knees. And we're going to go on to a seated position for a few moments. You can take one of your blankets and make yourself a support for your to tilt your pelvis. We won't be needing the strap anymore, so you can put it away. Find your Sukhasana, so make sure that this feels right for your knees, for your hips. Relax your shoulders back and under and tuck your chin slightly. Press the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Relax your jaw and your face. We're gonna adjust the shoulders. So when you are ready, bring your right arm forward and up. Reach up. And exhale, circle your arm behind you. So palm away, circle back. Other side, inhale, reach up. Maybe higher. Palm away and circle your arm behind you. Now blades together, squeeze them together, pull your fingertips back and drive your body back so until you feel that your shoulders land right over the hips. Keep tucking your chin slightly, breathe deeply here. And when you're ready, rest your hands again on your legs and observe. Notice your posture changing. Keep elongating your neck by pressing the crown of the head towards the sky. Next time you exhale, gaze towards the right shoulder. Watch for the neck. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. 2 more rounds on each side at your own pace. When you are done with your round, stay at the center, breathe. Now from here, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Very mindfully, you don't need to touch, so don't force it, don't bring your shoulder up. As you inhale, bring out. By the way, if you want a deeper extension, you can drop that left shoulder down and you'll control the stretch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, other side. Same thing. You control the stretch by moving that shoulder. Inhale. Try to keep the shoulders down, however. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do 1 round on each side, 1 more on each side. And come back to center. Breathe. The next time you inhale, you're gonna get your chin out and this one is funny, guys. And then, by the way, if you want, you can change your legs so that we are balanced, if you want. So cross them the other way. So this one, yeah, it's a little funny. So you're gonna get your chin out, like that, and stick your neck forward, like a turtle. Inhale, look up. Exhale, moving your chin away from you. You're gonna move it forward and down towards the center of the neck. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, look up. And forward and down. And inhale, come back to center, shoulders back and down, observe.
Finally, to stretch the back of the neck, tuck your chin slightly onto your chest. And inhale, move your chin to the right. Exhale, center of the chest. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center of the chest. One more round on each side. And when you are ready, return to the center of the chest. Inhale, bring your gaze forward, shoulders back and down. Finally, bring your arms at a T position. Draw your shoulder blades together. Interlace your fingers at the back of the neck, not the head. Press your elbows back, thumbs to the sides of the neck. And remember to send your collarbone up and the weight of your head goes to the hands. Now we're gonna use this pose as a traction for your neck. So when you're ready, maybe as you pull your elbows back, lift the hands. So it's like creating a little bit of space in between your vertebrae. Keep engaging the blades, it's important. Make sure that you're not straining the neck, but you're rather putting the weight on the hands. You're engaging your upper back and your shoulders. So we work them a lot to get to this point. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. And with control, using your hands, bring your gaze forward and then release your hands, shoulders back and down. Perfect. We're going down to the floor for Shavasana. You can use your bolster under the legs if you want. You can also have a blanket under the head if you want. And when you are ready, adjust yourself once on the floor. If you need any stretch, a spinal twist, a happy baby, hugging the knees and rocking side to side or anything at all, you are welcome to go for that. Then adjust yourself on your Shavasana. Before we go on to butterfly position, you want to settle your shoulders, your rib cage, press your heels away so that you adjust your pelvis. And then bend your knees and bring your foot soles on the floor. Allow your foot soles to touch and your knees flare. Notice the space you have between your lower back and the floor. Now we're gonna return to Shavasana, keeping that same space. See if that your body allows you for that. So on your next breath, after equalizing your hips and your back, you're gonna bring yourself up, your knees up. Extend your legs, press your heels, and then relax. Let your body fully relax. From bottom to top, scan your body. If you find places of tension, let them go. With every exhalation, you think about all those tensions and stresses that get stored in the body. You imagine them leaving. If you like visualization, you can see them as just some energy, like maybe color it if you want, this gray, or maybe not gray, but whatever color comes to mind, and just let it out through your nostrils. And just picture them as tension, just releasing them. And just know that they're not going anywhere, they just getting removed from your body and going back into nature. Think of that going into the plants and just getting back into our atmosphere as oxygen, or whatever you like to picture, so that you don't think you are putting bad energy out there or anything like that, because you're not. And just relax and breathe and let go. Remember, you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. You can pause the video and then maybe close our practice together. Otherwise, on your next breath, bring the awareness down to your feet and wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. Stretch your arms overhead and tense every muscle from toes to fist. Prune face, tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release. Again, flex or point your feet. Squeeze your bum, tight, tight, tight. Squeeze, squeeze and tense. And release. Last one, make it count. From toes to fist, squeeze every muscle, and then when you're ready, let all tension go. Bend your knees and bring your foot soles on the floor. Go onto your side and breathe. We're going to use our top hand to help ourselves up on our seated position. And find your cross-legged, any posture that feels right for you. Bring your hands together at the center of the heart, shoulders back and down. Do that gentle adjustment of the shoulders. Draw your shoulders away from your shoulder blades towards the center of the back and your shoulders away from the ears. And notice if that helps you to adjust your spine. Press the crown of the head towards the ceiling. We're going to seal our practice with the sound and vibration of Om. And we just first are going to take a breath together. So inhale through your nostrils, expand. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Relax your jaw and your face. Inhale, deeply expand. Side out. Again, inhale. Side out. Last one, breathe in. Let all tension out. Tuck your chin onto your chest and blink your eyes open, gaze forward. Build up extra good vibes and shower yourself with them all around you. And remember to shake off all tensions and stresses and whatever it is you don't need anymore. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, yogis. Namaste.